And so when you listen to it all together, it's only one rhythm and it's only one concept, which is chordal accompaniment, but it's being expressed by three different people just playing more minimalistically than they would play if they were alone on the stage.
This episode is being supported by Tape It, the iPhone recording app made for musicians by musicians.
We would have one drummer play the verse, one drummer play the chorus, one drummer play the bridge or the solo section or whatever, and they'd change on the downbeat. So it just sounds like one drummer who's changing the tuning of their kit like instantly, you know, which is very cool. That was a thing that we started doing on the record Immigrants. So we did this same process but live on Empire Central. We also have 3 percussionists. So actually in the Pro Tools session, we don't even have them as like drum set 1, 2, or 3. We just have them actually by name because that's just the easier way to do things in Snarky Puppy, yeah. I think. So here is Larnell's drum set. Now switching to Jameson. And now switching to JT, Jason Thomas. Sorry. And if I dump the percussion into this, it will sound like this. Drop the bass in. Guitars and keys. So yeah, I mean, it's a thing that you see a lot of people playing at once, and it feels like, wow, this has got to be chaotic. But actually, when you dive into the sessions, it's like people are playing very carefully constructed parts in a very restrained way to serve kind of the greater good, the overall sound. And it's just fun having that many colors available to you as a producer and as a band leader, you know.
Time for a quick Tape It feature highlight. As well as being able to organize your voice memos into mixtapes, Tape It will automatically detect what instrument you are recording and tag it with an icon. If you're a multi-instrumentalist, you'll love the additional organization this feature brings to your notes library. To find out more, follow the link in the description or use the promo code TAPENOTES for 20% off Tape It Pro.
There's a lot of, you know, techniques and tactics you can employ if you're in a large ensemble to make sure that things don't get too cluttered and crowded and chaotic, which is, you know, the first and most effective option is to not play, right? The less people you have playing, the more space there is and the cleaner and clearer things will be. So that's always everybody's kind of first line of defense against chaos creation. The second thing is you can play the exact same thing that another person in the band is playing. The person next to you, the person across from you, you know, doubling. Like a guitar player and a keyboard player might double what the horns are playing in one moment while the keyboard player and guitar player next to them are playing the chords, right? So doubling is another thing. And then the third thing is playing dramatically different parts. So like, you know, I'm actually curious. I don't know what's happening in this bridge, but I'll listen to the 3 guitar players and see what each one is doing. I would guess that they're doing 2 to 3 different things so that they don't get too close to each other. It's like, because I think the thing is, if you're playing something similar to another member of the band, it's not going to work. You either need to play the exact same thing or something different. So let's see. So this is Bob Lanzetti, rhythmic chord strumming. Chris McQueen playing the same rhythm and the same chords, but a different extension of the voicing, which is really interesting. Basically, they've taken a single chord voicing that one guitar player is capable of playing, and Bob is playing the lower half of it, and Chris is playing the upper half of it, which is a really cool tactic. And then Mark is playing actually the highest part of that voicing. So actually we have Bob Lanzetti playing the lower third of the voicing, Chris McQueen playing the middle third of it, and Mark Lettieri playing the higher third of it, the upper third of it. And so when you listen to it all together, it's only one rhythm, and it's only one concept, which is chordal accompaniment, but it's being expressed by three different people, just playing more minimalistically than they would play if they were alone on the stage, right? So this kind of stuff gets employed a lot in our band because there are so many people, and we want to make sure that there's space for the music to breathe. But it's it's fun. It's fun kind of meeting that challenge and finding different routes.
Yeah, and is anybody directing that? Is that the kind of decision making that comes out of these days of rehearsal that you were talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think probably when we rehearsed this song, we said, okay, horns, you're on the melody, keyboards and guitars, let's all play this one rhythm, and maybe one guitar play funky single note stuff or whatever. And then we try that and say, oh, that sounds too chord heavy. You two lay out, don't play. You two play the chords. You two blah, blah, blah. And we just try different stuff. And sometimes also it's a thing that like we'll be in the middle of the rehearsal and we'll play a section for the first time, and everyone will have a million ideas, and I'll notice that one of the guitar players is saying something to one of the other guitar players, and I'll just let them do their thing. I'll be like, they're going to work it out. The three of them work great together. They're going to come up with a plan. I don't even need to get into it. And then I'll work with the horns, or I'll work with the keyboardist while the guitar players are talking. It can feel kind of like British Parliament at times, I guess. You know, you like if you just walked into a Snarky Puppy rehearsal, you hear 30 people all talking at the same time. You know, you're like, what is going on? But actually, that's what the work looks and sounds like sometimes, right? It's like everyone's talking at once, but they're not talking into the middle of the room. They're talking to their respective section mates. And actually things are getting done, and they're actually getting done 5 or 6 times faster than they would be if everyone was just silent and we were dealing with one thing at a time.
We have got a ridiculously exciting festive gear giveaway competition, and one winner will walk away with this incredible prize list. All you have to do is head over to the Tape Notes Patreon page at patreon.com/Tape Notes. Sign up for free and comment who you'd like to see on the podcast on the top pinned post. The competition will remain open until the 2nd of January, at which point a winner will be drawn. Good luck.